Hi, my name's Appleton and I'm Remington's session stylist, and I'm here today to show you a really beautiful look which is hot off the runway but kind of tailored down into the high street, the big glamorous wave. So we saw it on Lana Del Rey, there's loads of celebrities wearing it, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to create at home. It looks complicated but it really isn't. So first of all, what we're going to do is we're starting on dry hair. So I prepped Emily's hair, it's all dry, just blow dried smooth using a hairdryer and a brush. And now what I'm going to do is start with the technique. Now, the most important part to this look is to create a side parting. You need to work with your face shapes or whatever works, but with Emily's hair, I'm going to work just on the left-hand side here. So I'm just going to use a vent brush and literally just see where the hair falls naturally. This gives it that real Hollywood kind of glamour feel if the hair swoops across to one side. However, if you feel that it suits you more in the middle, you can go with that. So now we've got the parting in, what we're going to do is start tonguing the hair. Now I'm going to use the Remington Keratin Therapy Pro Curl, and as you can see the barrel's quite narrow. That's a really important part actually, to go slightly smaller with the tongue than you normally would, because it's actually going to involve a lot of brushing out after, so it's important that we maintain that curl. We're taking the section sort of 1.5 inches by 1.5 inches, but this is quite a rough kind of section in. It doesn't have to be neat. When you're creating this look at home, it's really important for me, just to keep the next sections fairly neat. So we're going to open the tongue up and we're going to literally just wrap the hair around the tongue all the way in towards the ends, and then just hold those ends in there. Leave it to cook sort of for about 10 to 15 seconds, but my top tip really would be until the hair feels hot to touch. And then you can see the curls just effortlessly glide off there. Now don't be afraid at this point, that's what you need to create. You need to create that tight curl. Again, going back in, so wrapping the hair around the tongue, all the way to the ends. Don't worry about those very ends. The very ends we're going to leave out slightly. For me, it gives it that kind of slightly more modern effect. It keeps it quite modern and on trend and stops it looking too old school, too 40s. This is kind of a modern interpretation of that 1940s trend. And this is a really important part to remember actually, is to always wrap the hair in the same direction. So I'm wrapping the hair away from the face with the tongue. I'm not wrapping the hair around the face, I'm wrapping away from the face. That does two things. First of all, it lifts the face. If the curls move away from the face, when we brush them out later, you'll see that it really lifts the face and it moves nicely. But I'm actually doing all of the curls in the same direction. So I'm curling everything away from the face. There's no need to pin the hair because we're using a slightly smaller tongue. Now, if you're using a bigger tongue, you may need to clip it because the curls may start to drop. So that's why I'd always say go a little bit smaller than you think you need, because the curls will drop nicely. So I'll just spin Emily around so you can see what we've got going on. So the curls are pretty even throughout to the back section. And as you can see, what I've done at the back, as I've got to the back, you can see there's kind of a definite part in there. I basically wrapped the curls until the middle of the head and then started the opposite way. So again, turning the curls away from the face. So because we've got the keratin actually infused into the plate of the Pro Curl, it makes the hair very smooth. So what we've got is the keratin that's in the coating and that transfers onto the hair, giving it a very smooth finish. So when we brush out the curls, you're going to get that nice silky kind of calm approach rather than hair looking frizzy. We're going to use a regular vent brush. So basically anything with holes in, you don't want to use anything that's too solid. So anything with holes in like this is perfect. And what we're going to do is we're going to go straight in the head. So what I usually do is start from the bottom and work my way up, and we're just going to basically start brushing the hair through, and what you'll get is the hair will start to form into these waves as you brush it through. So you can see it starts to go into this S wave, and that's because we've curled the hair in the same direction, okay? So this look does involve a lot of brushing through, so we're going to keep brushing the hair through until we get the look we want. And my top tip is to brush it through first, then we're going to go through with some serum just to calm down any ends, and then you'll have that finished look. So as you can see, I've just added a little bit of serum to my hands. This is going to smooth the hair down. My top tip is always to distribute the serum evenly throughout your hands so it's really spread out so you get no lumps and bumps in there. And I'm literally going to take the whole hair together and run it all through those mid-lengths and ends. This is going to nourish the hair and give it that really nice sort of Hollywood shine that you need for this particular look. And then we're going to go back in there and give the hair a brush through again. And as you can see from the side, you start to get those really kind of beautiful waves that start to just fall in there. If you've got little short bits like Emily has here, we'll basically just kind of push them in. And what I always like to do, just for a slightly more defined look, is just add a couple of clips. So I'm just using a regular long silver clip And I'm just going to put them in at the crest of the wave and let it to settle. And then just take them out, add a little bit of hairspray, and you're ready to rock. So as you can see, we've got a really beautiful, flawless look, and it's actually really easy to create. And this is the finished look. Hope you like it.
This product is available in selected larger stores and available on boots.com.